Lieutenant Julius Amin.
Excellency Josep Borrell Fontels, High Representative of the European Union, Ministers of State present, members of the European Union delegation and members of the diplomatic corps present, heads of security and intelligence agencies of Ghana, invited guests, and all distinguished individuals gathered here today. It is with great pleasure, profound gratitude as well, that I welcome each and every one of you to this momentous occasion. You've gathered here today for a very significant event that marks a critical milestone in our nation's journey to enhance our security and counter-terrorism efforts. Mr. President, we extend a special welcome to you. We are delighted that you have found time to be with us today to bear witness to this event. Mr. President, you are most welcome. Mr. President, what we are witnessing today is the end product of the mission that you set for us approximately 2 years ago. Your Excellency, with your foresight and wisdom, you will recall that you tasked the Ministers for National Security, Defense, and Foreign Affairs to engage the European Union. The European Union being a key partner in our collective mission to curb the southward expansion of terrorism and violent extremism from the Sahel region to West Africa. Today, we come together to officially unveil a generous donation of 105 militarized vehicles provided by the European Union to support the counter-terrorism efforts of the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. President, the details of the 105 militarized vehicles include 13 Land Cruiser pickups, 10 GMC Sierra, Toyota Land Cruisers, Toyota single cabins, Chevrolet Silverado, Toyota Land Cruisers, and also Sierra pickups. In coming this far, Mr. President, we have had numerous engagements and negotiations with the European Union. In the initial days of our mission, we had the opportunity to meet His Excellency Josep Borrell Fontels, the High Representative of the European Union in Brussels. And we do recall the very, very warm reception that His Excellency gave us that late morning. And much more than that, his deep understanding of the terrorist challenges in our region and the dangers that it posed. His Excellency had fond memories of the country Ghana and the many Ghanaians that he had met in his public service. And he was confident that the region, our region, needed Ghana to play a leadership role in its fight against the terrorists. When we concluded that first meeting with him, we had no doubts at all about his personal commitment and the commitment of the EU to come to our aid. We were therefore not surprised, Mr. President, when at a crucial meeting on the margins of the Schuman Security and Defense Forum organized by the European Union in March this year, he announced the decision of the EU to offer us support, including the delivery of these militarized vehicles, among other assistance measures, so as to bolster Ghana's fight against terrorism. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we bear witness. We bear witness to the fulfillment of that promise as we receive these invaluable assets. And to us, it is an unequivocal testament to the diligent efforts and unwavering commitment of the government of Ghana under your presidency in strengthening the bonds of cooperation between Ghana and the European Union for the mutual benefit of all parties. Mr. President, some key individuals have worked very hard to bring us this far, and I want to mention in particular Mr. Edward Asmani, the National Security Coordinator, Ambassador Sinas Yamboatin, Ghana's ambassador to Belgium and permanent representative to the European Union, Major General Nicholas Andor, Chief of Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, and Major General Emmanuel Kutia, the National Coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission. We are indeed honored also to have the presence of the High Representative of the European here today to officially commission and hand over these vehicles. Your presence, High Representative, underscores the significance of this occasion and the importance of our partnership in the realm of security and counter-terrorism. And we believe today's event also symbolizes a significant step forward in the strength of cooperation between Ghana and the European Union. Together, we work towards safeguarding our mutual security interests, contributing to peace and stability not only in Ghana, but across the West African region. In closing, President, I would also want to acknowledge the significant support that has been given to us by the EU representative in Ghana. He has supported us along the line at all times with his expertise and with all the commitment that he was capable of giving to us. I believe the presence, the support, and commitment to our shared mission is deeply appreciated. This, for us, marks a moment of optimism and a pledge to continued cooperation as we face the challenges of our time with determination and also with unity. Mr. President, thank you, and I thank all of you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this important ceremony. I thank you.
Joseph Borrell Frontier for his remarks. Shall we?
Ministers, members of the Ghanaian Armed Forces, ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to be here today. The European Union and Ghana has a deep and strong partnership, a partnership with strong roots. It's not coming from today. It has a long story. It is based on shared values and on common interests. Both are important, values and interests. We pay attention to the two of them. This partnership has been evolving from something which was specifically, strictly development aid, an old word, to a more political one that is being designed to face the current global challenges Climate change and the fight against terrorism are maybe the two most important ones today. Climate change and terrorism are the greatest threats to the peace and stability of the world. And this partnership has recently been strengthened in the areas precisely of peace, security, and defense. I have the honor of being the High Representative of the European Union, not only for foreign relations, but also for security and defense policies. I'm coming here today because Ghana has been, and it is, crucial in ensuring regional stability. Your country, Mr. President, is the seventh contributor to the peacekeeping operations of the United Nations, and as a non-permanent member of the Security Council, Ghana has also grown in its role of supporting international peace and security. And we share your strong plaidoyer, Mr. President, that I heard at the United Nations recently, for our United Nations assessed contributions to finance an African Union-led peace support operations. I think that we are all aware that the spillover of insecurity from the Sahel to the Gulf of Guinea is not a risk, it's a reality. It's like climate change. It's not something that may happen in 20 years from now. It's happening now. And the spillover of terrorist activities from the Sahel to the Gulf of Guinea countries is something that is happening now. And this reality has to be faced by our partners like you, but not alone, this call. But not just by words. We have plenty of words and applauses. What we need is actions. And the military knows very well that. At the end, you have to be able to act, to put words into action. And that's why I am very happy to hand over these 105 armoured vehicles. I insisted a lot for these vehicles coming here to Ghana, for the specific characteristic of your country, from the firm convincement that it was the best destiny for this military capacity to be used serving peace and stability. This is part of an European Union 20 million package of equipment to help reinforce the Ghanaian Air Forces. For the equipment will also be delivered notably for aerial surveillance, for electronic warfare, which is having more and more importance every day in the battlefields, and for river crafts. I've been watching your rivers in my travel to Ghana from the plane, and I understand how important it is to be able also to survey the shores of these rivers. And we are confident that this support will benefit not only Ghana, but the entire sub-region, and finally, us also. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, the equipment delivered today comes on top of ongoing projects to reinforce border management and prevent local tensions. But countering terrorism requires more than armored vehicles and drones, requires more than military capacities. To prevent terrorism, we have to attack the root causes, because everybody has a cause. And we have to look at the causes, not to justify, but to explain, and to be able to act in a more intelligent manner. We need prevention, which requires improved service provision and job creation, especially for youth and women. We need investment for socio-economic inclusion in the northern regions of Ghana is particularly key. A large proportion of our current bilateral cooperation with Ghana, which amounts to 200 million on the last 3 years, the last and the coming year, 2021-2024 will be dedicated to these priorities. Sometimes, in order to win the war, you have always to win the peace. And the European Union is also supporting Ghana in the promotion of sustainable growth, digital and green transitions, climate resilience, reinforcement of health and education system. Both things, the arm and the civilian leg, have to go together. Mr. President, allow me to conclude. I would like to say it louder and clear. Europe remains the largest aid provider, the main trade partner, and the main investors in the African continent. Sometimes we are watching at a battle of interest, battle of narrative. Allow me to remember how important is our presence in Africa. We are the first trade partner, the most important investor, and the largest, by large, aid provider. And this is not about charity. We all aim to go beyond aid. Some words that will mark a century of partnership between Africa and Europe. Yes, we have to go beyond aid. We need Ghana beyond aid and Africa going beyond aid. We need more growth, more jobs, more stability, and a larger African market benefiting from the African continent free trade area. This brings promises both for Africa and for Europe. You have today, Mr. President, an increasing variety of partners, old and new, that want to cooperate with you. And we are not here to tell you what do you have to do, with whom, or how you have to do it. You know better than us how to address the challenges that you face. Everyone has the right to choose its own trajectory and its own priorities. But I think that we, all of us, however, all of us, we have a common responsibility to maintain a rules-based multilateral order. And we appreciate having friends like Ghana, standing firm in the protection of international rules and norms that in this multipolar world are more necessary than ever. Allow me to remind the words of someone coming from this land, from this country, which belongs to the history of humankind. Kofi Annan said once, "The world is not ours to keep. Le monde ne nous appartient pas," in French. We hold the world in trust for future generations. C'est l'héritage que nous allons laisser à nos enfants et nos grands-enfants. So we have to take care of it, because it's not ours. It belongs to the future. It belongs to the hundreds of millions of human beings that are still not born, but will be here one day, and will request us, what kind of world do we have in your heritage? Will be a world in peace, in freedom, and prosperity? Or will be a world destroyed by the climate change and the war among human beings, as we are seeing today? This is our common endeavor. And that's why mainly I am here, because we share the same motivations, President. Maybe sometimes we don't share the same opinions, and maybe we don't share the same interest. I'm sure that we walk in the same direction for the benefit of the present and future generations. May these cars help to defend yourself better, and defending you better, ensuring better the security of your country, the region, and the world. Thank you.
Ambassador to Ghana, and members of the diplomatic corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome the High Representative and Vice President of the European Union, His Excellency Joseph Borrell Fonteles, to Ghana. Akwaba is our word of welcome, for you are amongst the people who pride themselves on their warm hospitality, and I hope you're enjoying your brief stay amongst us. We in Ghana, and indeed in Africa, have followed the EU story keenly, and we're hopeful that sooner rather than later, we'll be able to replicate the successes you have chalked over the years and decades. Today, we gather to mark a significant milestone in our partnership. That is to expand their scope of influence from the Sahel to coastal West Africa are obvious. These actions pose a substantial security risk to the people and stability of Ghana. Recent occurrences of terrorist activity in Burkina Faso, Togo, and Benin underscore the pressing need for Ghana to enhance her counterterrorism measures. It is imperative to understand that no single country can confront the terrorist threat on its own. Collaborative efforts amongst nations facing this challenge and critical support from partners such as the European Union, who share our security concerns, remain crucial in mitigating the terrorist threat in the West African region. Within the context of our collective efforts and the pooling of resources, we appreciate the significance of the 105 military vehicles donated by the European Union. These vehicles will play a pivotal role in our efforts to fortify Ghana's northern frontiers against terrorism. I assure His Excellency Joseph Borrell Fonteles and the European Union that Ghana is committed to utilizing these resources, including the militarized vehicles, for the agreed purposes, which includes securing our northern frontiers against terrorist incursions. Ghana stands ready to continue to collaborate with the European Union to safeguard our mutual security interests, particularly in the West African region. In conclusion, I extend once again our heartfelt gratitude to the European Union for this generous donation, which reflects the depth of our partnership and shared commitment to a safer, more secure future. Together, we shall strive to overcome the challenges that confront us and work towards a more peaceful and prosperous West African region. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and pleasure to declare the 105 militarized vehicles duly commissioned for use by the Ghana Armed Forces to enhance Ghana's fight against terrorism. May God bless the European Union and us all, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
We end today's ceremony. Once again, I wish to thank you all for coming. Have a safe journey to your respective destinations. Thank you.
Are you sure you have good wine?
If it's really closed.
Your team, they were talking to me about something. I think they are right. Yeah. They said that we shouldn't leave you.
David.
Really incredible.